I opened the bedroom door and found my husband in bed with his best friend. Not by accident, not confused, fully involved, on our matrimonial bed. That was the day everything I believed about love, loyalty, and marriage collapsed. Daniel and Michelle were the kind of couple that made marriage look easy. Lavish vacations, surprise gifts, matching outfits, and anniversary shout-outs that trended on social media. On the outside, they were the perfect pair. But inside their home, something was wrong. Daniel, a successful marketing executive, showered his wife with luxury. From Chanel handbags to first-class tickets, he never let her lack. But despite all the love he showed her in public, behind closed doors, he barely touched her. Michelle, patient and trusting, believed he was either stressed or tired from work. And whenever she raised concerns, Daniel would make an effort just enough to quiet her suspicions. Still, one detail stuck out. His best friend, Ryan. Ryan was everywhere. At their dinners, on their vacations, in their house, laughing, talking, and spending late nights in the visitor's parlor. To Michelle, it was harmless. Just two close friends catching up. What she didn't realize was that this friendship was hiding a deeper truth. And that truth came crashing down one Thursday afternoon. Michelle wasn't supposed to be home that day. She had traveled to visit her mother, while Daniel told her he'd be heading to Port Harcourt for a work seminar. But her plans changed. She returned home early and quietly entered the house. From the dining table, she noticed 2 wine glasses, one still half full. Then she heard it. Muffled voices. A rhythm. A sound that didn't belong in silence. She climbed the stairs and pushed open her bedroom door. There they were, Daniel and Ryan, tangled in her bed sheets. On her matrimonial bed, the room fell into chaos. Ryan scrambled for the blanket. Daniel sat up, stunned, and Michelle stood frozen, not screaming, not crying, just staring. That moment ended the illusion. Everything she believed about her marriage shattered. The next few days were heavy. Michelle was furious. Not only because of the betrayal, but because of how long it had been hidden. Without a word to Daniel, she packed some of her belongings into her travel boxes and left. She rented a small self-contained apartment across town, modest, but quiet, just enough to give her peace. Daniel kept calling and texting, but she blocked him. She didn't want answers. She wanted space to breathe. She hadn't even told her family where she was. But one evening, about 2 weeks after she moved in, there was a knock on the door. It was Ryan. He looked exhausted, eyes swollen, lips dry, and his hands shaking. He was holding a brown envelope. "I know I'm the last person you want to see," he said. "But please just hear me out." Michelle wanted to slam the door, but something in his eyes made her pause. He stepped in, stood quietly for a moment, and finally spoke. Daniel had been battling his sexuality for years. Their relationship started in university and had never truly ended. They tried to stop. They fasted, prayed, even dated other people. But the pressure to appear normal pushed Daniel into marriage. A marriage he thought would fix him. But it only made him more desperate and more dishonest. Then Ryan handed Michelle the envelope. "I just got tested," he said. "I don't know Daniel's status, but I think you should protect yourself." The words sent shivers down her spine. Michelle went for testing immediately the next morning. Negative. But just barely in time. Shaken by the results, she finally unblocked Daniel and confronted him. He didn't deny it. In fact, he broke down completely. "I was scared," he said. "I didn't know how to tell you." That was the moment Michelle realized her anger was justified, but her safety had been at risk too. But the story didn't end there. In the following weeks, Michelle's friend, who worked in telecoms, called her with shocking news. "I think your husband is in a private WhatsApp group. You won't believe what's going on." The group, codenamed Men of Valor, was a secret circle of married men living double lives. They shared stories, photos, hookups. Some were politicians, pastors, even respected husbands in their communities. Daniel had been a member for over 5 years. Michelle was stunned. Her husband wasn't just hiding a personal struggle, he was part of a network. One screenshot said it all: "My wife thinks I'm doing midweek vigil." Meanwhile, Ryan's here already. She couldn't unsee it. Michelle knew this was no longer just her story. She started documenting everything, quietly, carefully. She didn't want revenge. She wanted the truth. And she wasn't the only wife dealing with a lie, despite everything. Ryan and Daniel couldn't stay away from each other. Their connection wasn't casual, it was deep, codependent, and built on years of secrecy. Even after Michelle moved out, Daniel kept seeing Ryan. They met in hotels, in his car, sometimes even at Michelle's former home, after she had returned the keys. The betrayal didn't just continue, it deepened. Weeks later, a storm was brewing online. An anonymous blog known for exposing Lagosilites published a new headline: "Married Men's Secret Group Leaked." Shocking details about pastors, politicians and influencers. Michelle nearly dropped her phone when she saw Daniel's face in the second photo. Blurry but unmistakable. He was shirtless, sitting beside Ryan at a private beach house. The watermark on the image read "Men of Valor Retreat 2022. The blog post included screenshots from the WhatsApp group, graphic messages, photos, even voice notes. It wasn't just Daniel who was exposed, 10 other married men were named. By noon, it was trending across Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Daniel's company suspended him by 4 p.m. By evening, Michelle's parents were calling her nonstop, demanding answers, and by midnight, Daniel had gone into hiding. But the chaos didn't stop there. That Sunday, Michelle attended church with her cousin, trying to clear her head. She sat quietly at the back. Midway through the testimony segment, an unfamiliar man stepped forward and took the mic. "I have something to confess," he said, voice trembling. "I used to be part of a group. We were married men, but we weren't faithful. Not to our wives. Not to God." The congregation froze. Whispers began. He continued, "Some of us are HIV positive. Some are pastors. Some lead Bible study. One of them is here. His name is Daniel Williams." The microphone was snatched from his hand. Panic broke out. Michelle lowered her head, her hands shaking. People turned. Faces twisted in shock. A woman screamed. One usher fainted. The pastor tried to take control of the service, but the damage was done. Daniel, who had been hiding in the crowd, slipped out through the side door, humiliated, exposed, and surrounded by people he once led in prayer. The fallout was nuclear. Parents started questioning their sons. Wives filed for divorce. 2 men named in the exposed disappeared. One, a prominent deacon, reportedly attempted suicide. Michelle stayed silent, refusing to speak publicly. But behind the scenes, she was still watching. She discovered he was still communicating with Ryan. Love notes, secret hotel bookings, even plans to relocate abroad together. Despite everything, they were still deeply entangled. Daniel was now jobless, disgraced, and in hiding, but still in love. Weeks after the chaos, Michelle tried to piece her life back together. But nothing could have prepared her for what she found next. One of the leaked voice notes from the Men of Valor WhatsApp group landed in her inbox, sent anonymously. It was Daniel's voice. Laughing, mocking. "I told them I'd do it. And I did. She even believed I was in love. That babe was my ticket out of this double life. It wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation. Because the next part of the recording was worse. Bro, you owe me. I married her just to win this bet." Michelle dropped her phone. It shattered against the floor just like her heart. She cried. For hours, for days, for everything she gave, for everything she lost. And just when she thought it couldn't get worse, she received a message from a mutual acquaintance, Daniel, and Ryan relocated to Canada. They just had their court wedding. Yes, Daniel and Ryan, tired of the backlash, the church scandal, the trending hashtags, and the damaged reputations, fled the country. They started fresh, in a place where no one knew their names, and they didn't just run away. They celebrated, got legally married, posted their new life smiling, hand in hand, under a rainbow flag in front of a white chapel in Vancouver. Michelle saw it on someone's Instagram story, and she wept again. But this time it wasn't just from pain, it was from rage. How could God let this happen to me? Why did He allow them to use me? What did I ever do wrong? She eventually finalized her divorce with Daniel. She locked herself in her apartment for 3 days. No calls, no food, just memories and grief. But after the storm came stillness, and after stillness came strength. Michelle slowly began to rebuild her life. She resigned from her job and started a wellness blog for women who had gone through betrayal, abuse, and marital deception. Her words were raw, real, and healing. She started gaining followers, women from across Africa and the diaspora. One evening, while hosting a wellness retreat in Ghana, Michelle met someone. His name was Jordan, a quiet, widowed pediatrician from the UK visiting to volunteer at a children's hospital. Kind, patient, God-fearing, and gentle in all the ways Michelle never knew she needed. He didn't rush her. He didn't pity her. He loved her through her scars. After a year of friendship and courtship, he proposed. This time, Michelle walked into marriage with eyes wide open and with peace in her heart. 2 years later, Michelle and Jordan welcomed twin daughters Aria and Ava. Beautiful, lively, full of joy. And for the first time in forever, Michelle wasn't surviving. She was living. To every man out there, stop deceiving women. If you're not emotionally or sexually attracted to women, don't drag them into a loveless marriage. It's not just dishonest, it's cruel. Speak your truth, seek help, and be fair to those who want real love. Live in your truth. No matter how difficult it is, it's always better to live honestly than to drag innocent people into deception. Hiding your true identity, especially when it comes to your sexuality, can cause irreversible emotional damage to others. Don't marry to cover shame. Marriage should be built on love, trust, and mutual understanding. When you marry to hide a secret, you're not just lying to your partner, you're denying them the chance to find true happiness. One lie can destroy a lifetime of peace. The moment you begin to lie to keep up an image, that lie begins to grow legs, and eventually, it will outrun you. Healing is possible. No matter how deep the betrayal, you can rebuild your life. You can rise again. You can love again. Let Michelle's story be a reminder that broken beginnings don't have to mean bitter endings. How many people have you hurt just because you were too afraid to tell the truth? How long will you keep pretending, at the cost of someone else's peace? Remember, truth may be hard, but lies are heavier. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching this story. If it touched you, taught you something, or simply made you reflect, please like, share, and comment below. Someone close to you might need to hear this. Don't keep it to yourself. More shocking, emotional, and real-life inspired stories are coming soon right here on this channel. So stay locked in. Until next time, stay wise, stay kind, and stay true to yourself. See you soon.